Well, this is another day that I'm getting prepared to finishing some blacksmith projects. I have the last holiday Christmas show that's coming up this weekend. My little forge area is small, very small. I started blacksmithing when I was 60. I had been a nurse all of my career. And I love blacksmithing things, and I love blacksmith stuff, and I never thought I would ever be a blacksmith in my life. I had people ask me, how did you get into this? And I said, I guess God, because one day I decided I want a blacksmith. So I went and found a man who was a very good blacksmith. And he said, well, come on over to my house, and we'll see what you can do. And I thought to myself, I can't do anything. I don't know anything about blacksmithing. I walked in there and he had this giant forge and big blower, hand crank blower. And as I was standing there looking at him, he was going through this process of taking a round piece of steel and making it into a small square point. And as I was looking at that, I was like, wow, that's cool. And so then he steps back and he said, it's your turn. And I'm like, well, can I practice? And he goes, no. He says, you either got it or you don't. I don't want to waste your time or mine. So, with no pressure, I got out there and I started cranking this blower that was weighed about as much as me. And I did this point 3 times perfectly. And he stopped and he looked at me and he said, you can do anything you want blacksmithing. And I looked at him and I said, well, I'm just this little human. I don't have a lot of brawn, like you see on the movies, the guys with the big muscles and, they're pounding away on this steel. And he says, well, I can show you some tips and help you to realize that it's not so much brawn as it is technique. So I said, okay, that's fine. So he said, get a hold of me when you have some idea, some questions and we'll help you through. Well, long story short, 14 years now I've been blacksmithing, and I love every minute of it. It's hard, yep. It's dirty, yep. But it's just amazing when you can grasp a hold of a piece of steel. And he's right, you don't need brawn a lot, but you do need a bit of muscle. And I pray and pound. That's what I tell people. And I get so excited when I see the finished product. So this weekend I'll be setting up my last tables for this year of supplies that I've made throughout the year. I sell at different museums here in the areas that I live in. Once you get going, you can't keep all the stuff you make, so you start selling it, and people want it, and it's really rewarding. So anyway, I will start the forge up here, which is little. I'll give you a little tiny bit of a tour of my tiny blacksmith area, and so you can see exactly where I'm working, which is very small. So it's not like you need a lot of stuff, space. You need stuff. You need a lot of stuff. You need tongs, you need hammers, you need things, you need anvils. But I work in a very small area. So I'll show you this area right now, and we will commence to going from there. But it's a wonderful thing to do. And so, don't let age stop you. I've had a lot of people come to my tables and say, oh, if I was younger, I would. Well, you know what? I wasn't younger when I started. But by the grace of God, I've been able to pound and create and do things that I would have never thought I would have been able to do. And in my younger years, never thought of doing. So anyway, here we go. I will get us set up here so we can show you the actual blacksmith setup. Okay, here's my shop. Which you can see right here on my side right here is my forge. It's a propane forge. In fact, I've had to patch it a bit. I've used it so hard. It's actually need to get me another one. This is has 3 doors. The one on the side and the one on the front is the one I use, of course, all the time. The one in the back I keep blocked so that it holds the heat in. This is my little anvil. This anvil I got at a garage sale, actually. Someone made it out of a railroad rail. It's really handy. It's got a really nice point on the front of it. I put it on a stump here and chained it down so it's nice and sturdy for me. I use the point on it a lot. This is my big guy. He's the one that I use all the time. My go-to fella. Right here is my vise and table, and then I have my work table here that has supplies on it that I use, and I get things ready to go here. Another piece that I get that clamps down, and then I have another piece of that I do a lot of my bends and scrolls and stuff on here. So basically what you're seeing here is the floor plan of my shop, and right next to it right here is my power hammer. This power hammer has been a godsend for me, because when I realized that I really loved getting to do this blacksmithing, I knew that all the pounding that it was going to take to actually draw out and make some of this heavier stuff from railroad spikes and things, my arm wasn't going to be able to last. So I was able to purchase this from a friend who had made, he was a master blacksmith, a fabulous blacksmith. He actually made this for himself, but he sold it to me so he could make another one. Because it was made for him and his feet were a heck of a lot bigger than mine, I couldn't reach this pedal here good enough, and if I put it on it just didn't work. So I was able to use a stool, so I sit on it and I use these dies on the front and put my heel on this thing here to actually run the power hammer itself. So if somebody says, we need a big spot to blacksmith because that's stopping you, don't let it stop you. I mean, I might be crowded in here, and there's sometimes I would really love to have a real shop. I really, really would. But I don't, so I make the best of what I have. I was able to actually mentor a young man here as an apprentice a few years back, and we did the dancing about each other and was able to, nobody got hurt. We had fine. I have people ask me a lot if I would do some basic classes for them, but I can't put people in here. It's just way too tight for people to come in this area here, and like I said, it's a real small spot. So again, do not let your size of your shop or size of your spot stop you. Jump in if you think this is what you want to do or would like to try it. It's a wonderful craft. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start up the forge, which is going to be loud, and I'm going to start working on some things for the show, and maybe I can get some pictures of it. If not, you'll have some finished pictures of it when I get done. The forge is warming up right now. I always wear a apron, but right now it's pretty cold out here, so until the forge gets warmed up, I have my jacket on. No good clothes out here because I'm not all that neat. I always wear ear protections. I put safety glasses over my glasses. I wear a glove on my hammer hand. I don't wear a glove on my tong hand. I don't wear a glove on my hammer hand. It seems like I don't have enough control when I use my hammer with a glove on. So I just basically use the tongs with the glove hand. And it also helps me get close to the fire because the glove helps you, gives you just a little bit of protection when you're reaching in to get the stuff out of the forge. So let's see if you can see probably not. The light from the back makes it tough to see the forge doing this thing. Yeah. Not gonna work. Anyway, I'm ready to go to work as soon as we get the heat going up on this and get the going at it. Be back with you. Thanks for bearing with me because I have never done a video with this either. So hopefully as things go on I will get better with this videoing things and learning how to video and work at the same time. I can talk and work at the same time, but it's talking to a camera and trying to figure out how to run them. That's the challenge. So I'll be back. So, a good day of blacksmithing. Maybe I'll learn how to talk and blacksmith at the same time. Maybe not, but this whole channel is just to show you different things that I get to do and to encourage anybody else. If I can do it, you can do it. If you want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, you just like to watch people do different things, then you'll see different things here throughout the year. I never thought I would blacksmith ever in my whole life, and I never thought I would do YouTube videos. So I never really did videos ever. I did it, I mean, not for anybody anyhow. I did them for some of the horse events I did, but nothing professional, and this is definitely not going to be professional. So this is what we did today. Got these three. People use them for also, like for shawl pins also. I've had people thought they were going to buy them for, I thought they're buying them for hair, and they buy them for shawls and for every other thing. So Anyway, I'm really glad I got these done, so they'll be a part of the show this weekend. And if I could figure out a way to maybe video the show, part of it, at least set up, show you some of the other things that I've made, because they're all put away. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll have some more adventures in different kinds down the road. Good morning. Well, today I'm going to take you to the last Christmas fair of the year, where I set up my blacksmith stuff. It's a big show. We have hundreds of people that come through. We have hundreds of vendors. I'm the only person who does blacksmithing there. But when you blacksmith, there's something that you have to realize, that when you finally get your blacksmithing craft going well, you can't keep all the stuff you make. So people see it, they want to buy it, and like I said before, I sell things at the county museums here and some of the other historical museums here too. But still, you want to keep creating, so I get to go to the different shows and sell things while I'm out too. So I will take you to this show today, and I'll be able to explain some of the things that I've made, if everything works right, and we'll be able to share with you some of the products that I'm able to create. Okay, here's where we're going to be setting up. I'll be setting up with friends that'll be here, and then the whole show will be going down here. As you can see, people are starting to get set up here now, and down below. It's one of the biggest shows of the season here. So I'll show you this after it gets finished. Table will look much different. Okay, now I am here at the show and the table is full. As you can see here, these are all the different blacksmith items that I have made, and I'll describe some of them because you won't probably know what they are. But the table is all set up for now the show for this weekend. Right here, these are just basic hooks that I make. People buy them for all kinds of different reasons. This is another hook. This is called a drive-in hook. It has a nail head actually put on the end as one piece, like a square nail, and you drive it into your timbers. This is a coat rack here. Over here is fire pokers, and then here I have what they call prairie diamonds. They're horseshoe nails made into rings, and there's a whole history about that that's really interesting. Of course, you saw me make these, so this is the barrette that'll be here, one of the three. These here are different types of candle holders. These I've made out of trap springs. This is one of the first items I made. It was made for a letter opener, but people use them for awls and hors d'oeuvre stickers and all kinds of things now. I make these knives out of trap springs, and then I wrap the handles so that they have paracord handles on them, and that makes them pretty much an all-around type of survival knife. These are the crosses that I've made. And then over here I made I call a spike hawk. This was off of a actual what do you call it, a wrench. This end was a wrench on both ends, and then I took went ahead of
the chairs are all going to be down at that end underneath the mezzing on the dirt floor.
Over here is a railroad spike that I made into this is the railroad spike here. I make them into knives so that people can use them and have something usable. This one here is a horse head, and on the top of it and the bottom is like a letter opener for people. And here is another, it's actually a trap spring that I put together and made it into a knife with that too.
Just looking good.
Over here is some shish kebab skewers I've made.
When do we eat?
And these are shoe horns. And this was made out of a railroad spike, that shoe horn is. And these are railroad spike items made into a spatula, a fork, and a meat turner. Made this one into this is another meat turner on this end, and have made this into a horse head on the top of this one. So over here, these are just basic flat stock steel that went into making a spatula. This is a barbecue fork that I made out of square stock. This is one of my specialty items that I've made that hangs. Can pull in your grate of your oven and take them out. It's also a meat turner end on this end here, so it's a utility tool. So you have your basic knife and fork spoon sets. This is a spork here and a serving spoon, and then we have an actual dinner set here. So I have some spork. It's a fork and kind of hard to see, but it has it's for a barbecue set. So it has a fork on one end, and on the other end it has a hook, so you can drive this into the ground, and you can put either a piece of meat on this end, and when you're done, you can go ahead and turn it around and put a pot on this end. So these are just some of the things that I've made and will be selling here this weekend. This is where blacksmithing can take you. Alrighty, we're here at the show this morning and we're ready to go. I got everything put up and we're just ready to get the doors open, which will start up at 9 o'clock this morning. This is full now, everything is packed, and this is the exciting time to see who buys what and when they buy it. And then I can make some more. The joys of blacksmithing. You never know where you're going to end up, and you end up, well, when you end up there, you end up at shows that you wouldn't even think about they were available. But this is something that I really, really enjoy. So I'll share with you at the end of all the different things that we've done. Okay, here's my table all complete with all the signs on it now, so that people know what they're buying, and prices are on the tags and everything there. These are herb cutters that I've done. These herb cutters are made out of horseshoe rasps, and people really like that. And this guy here is a historical thing that I made for loggers. It's a logger's bottle, and they used to put kerosene in these, and ended up with if you can see that, it's hung on a tree. So when they would lose their grip with the saws, they could go ahead and put the kerosene across the saw blade and it would work. So anyway, this is some of the other stuff that my friends have.
Am I on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mike makes these beautiful wood chopping blocks and things. Kurt does all of this beautiful flint knapping and beadwork.
Meet some friends in Georgetown.
So then we have the show in general, fully opened up now and ready for the public to show up. Everything from antique old coins to knives to bows, arrows, to all kinds of outdoor gear. And it goes for everybody that enjoys this kind of rustic kind of stuff.
I like this show more than I do, and then I'm going to start to hate it.
Oh, I fully expect to do that.
No, you don't. You're bringing people.
So, this is what happens for some of us with our blacksmith skills because we want to keep blacksmithing and we can't keep all this stuff in our house.